The great national planting initiative that will contribute to the goal of planting 180 million trees by the year 2022, proposed by the national government and led by the Ministry of Environment. The Coralina Corporation led this initiative on the island this morning.
The Coralina Environmental Corporation, in alliance with the National Navy, Army, and Air Force, managed to plant several trees on the coastal edge of the department in the areas of Villa, Ellen, and Schooner Bight, sites that were affected by Hurricanes Eta and Iota.
From kilometer 4 to the blowing hole, we have planted 100 trees, 50 coconut trees on the coastal edge, 50 for roots. That is the species that is already here. Distributed amongst roots, coconut trees, beach grapes, lilith, which are the characteristic we have for the coastal area, which is an area that we have to strengthen in terms of protection. The planting of 180 million trees as a goal for the national government starts today. But that does not mean it ends today. We are going until December the 31st. We will contribute with 30,000 trees between now and December.
The Coralina Environmental Corporation will monitor the growth of the trees planted on the coastline, which are intended to restore environmental balance to the area affected by the passage of Hurricanes Eta and Iota, which knocked down most of the trees on the site.
A manifestation took place in the afternoon outside the Coral Palace, where a group of people demanded the reconstruction of their homes affected after Hurricane Eta and Iota.
Through a peaceful sit-in led by Pastor Augusto Francis, together with a group of victims of Hurricane Iota, they requested the departmental government to include them in the EDAN, a program of the Risk Management Unit, so that their homes can be rebuilt.
Que nos comentaron es que si las personas no estaban.
What we were told is that if the people were not in the EDAN, they could not have intervened on their homes. We have approximately 60 elderly people. Their houses are affected without roofs, and some of the houses are not habitable. The issue is, this afternoon, to ask the governor to call the National Risk Management Unit so that they can reopen the EDAN and be able to include the elderly people who are not in the EDAN.
My house did get destroyed by the hurricane. The whole top come off, and right now it is in a bad condition because really it's only piece. I have like patch up like for try see how I not get wet up, but there is part that's still wetting up yet, and we'll I put on some oil, turn it, and so one friend did present me was to protect the house because the friend said if I continue with it, I'm not getting nothing yet.
I am here this evening because Friday I came here to a meeting that they called me to, and when I come they say I do on the list for the EDAN to fix my house. So I begging the government to please collaborate with all of us what they said don't come out on the EDAN to help us because we are wetting up.
In response to the claims of the community, the Secretary of Infrastructure, Finance, and the coordinator of the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management in the department met with the victims to inform them about the situation regarding the reconstruction of houses.
También hay personas que no fueron caracterizadas.
There are people who are not typified in the first session of the EDAN, and they are asking for the EDAN to be opened, something that has to be done from the Risk Management Unit and that we have requested through 3 writings. We are hoping that this will soon become a reality, since there are many people who have felt need that deserve to be solved by the department.
The head of the infrastructure portfolio indicated that the risk management unit is being asked for more resources for the reconstruction and that the entity promised, according to the official, 8,000 million pesos, and to date they have only sent 2,300 million. Archbold emphasized that this week they will be delivering materials to start the reconstruction of some houses.
And in order to improve the process of social control and citizen oversight, the Regional Controller Office promotes training to strengthen issues related to the oversights.
With the participation of the different interest groups of the Comptroller's Office, overseers, members of the community action boards, and citizens in general, including young students, the Comptroller is expected to train them to strengthen their knowledge, competencies, and skills for the exercise of care of public resources through social control.
The General Comptroller of the Archipelago Department, through an agreement with the General Comptroller of Antioquia, signed an agreement with the purpose of bringing to San Andres training oriented to young people, leaders of community action boards. In this order of ideas, tomorrow we'll be meeting the leaders of community action boards, the overseers, and the community in general who are interested in becoming an overseer or who want to be part of this exercise of social control through which they can monitor the resources that are public.
The strengthening of these competencies will be achieved through training that was arranged with the Departmental Comptroller's Office of Antioquia, who will lead the process in person, allowing attendees to access knowledge and tools for the exercise of social control, thus contributing to the exercise of fiscal control, in addition to influencing the conditions for the development of public management through all the oversight bodies.
We are going to strengthen the issue of oversight through the National Oversight Network, where those oversight bodies that are in the department will be integrated and will also have the possibility of developing a joint work with the national network. This will allow them basically to be able to be better social control, to have much more active participation as citizens in issues related to the control of public resources invested by the different institutional entities in favor of the community. We want to extend the invitation to Wednesday, also directed to all the oversight citizens of the island, social leaders, church leaders, and citizens in general to participate in the training called Social Control and Citizen Oversight.
And today is October 12th. For this, previously we would say Happy Race Day, but this will no longer be like that because the Ministry of Culture, through a decree, established October 12th as the Day of Ethnic and Cultural Diversity of the Colombian nation.
A day like today, October 12, in the island of San Andres, Race Day would be celebrated with more fanfare among the inhabitants of the sector of the hill, Brooks Hill and Cove. Race Day was originally established as a tribute to the Union of Cultures. This fact was consecrated with the arrival of Cristobal Colon to America on October 12 of 1492. However, the Ministry of Culture has decided to change the name of this celebration, taking into account that since the 90s, social movement and some academics have questioned the commemoration of the arrival of Cristobal Colon to America, the concept of race, the idea of the discovery, and the name of Race Day. In response to this call and in accordance to the values, memories, and identities that are to be promoted in the country, the Ministry of Culture, through the Resolution 0138 of May 31st of 2021, established October 12th as the Day of the Ethnic and Cultural Diversity of the Colombian nation. The name Day of the Ethnic and Cultural Diversity of the Colombian nation was granted based on the 1991 Constitution, which is explicit in highlighting the pluralistic nature of Colombia and in recognition of country's ethnic and cultural diversity, encouraging its protection under the ideas of equality and dignity of all culture that coexist in this territory.
Regional channel Teleislas is pleased to inform the community of the archipelago that the following information regarding the popular action filed against the single notary of the District of San Andres.
The Second Civil Court of the District of the Archipelago Department of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina by official notice announced that the popular action filed by Mr. Alex Fermin Restrepo Martinez and Robinson Alfonso Larios Gerardo before the single notary of the District of San Andres Island is admitted, where it also notifies the defendant entity compliance with Article 18 of Law 472 of 1998 based on Article 16 and 20 of the same. According to the above, it is ruled that the Archipelago Department of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina must ensure the protection of the rights and interests of the deaf and deafblind population in the island territory and must delegate official interpreters of Colombian Sign Language according to the provisions of Law 982 of 2005. In this way, the office resolves that first, the present popular action brought by Alex Fermin Restrepo Martinez and Robinson Alfonso Larios Giraldo against the single notary of the District of San Andres Island is hereby omitted. Second, notify this decision to the defendant entity, that is to say, to the single notary of the District of San Andres Island personally, and other points that request the personal notification to the agent of the public ministry delegated to the Judicial Office, to the Ministry of National Education, and to the Archipelago Department of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina.
And after the satisfactory results of the first boot camp carried out by SENA in San Andres and Old Providence, the training center has announced a second boot camp to be held in the archipelago.
These sessions will be a tool that will allow people in companies to perform data analysis that a market issue and at an organizational level are handled for decision making.
This week we start with cybersecurity, and the invitation we want to extend to all people both in San Andres and the municipality of Old Providence is for human resources and entrepreneurs, local human talent and productive units that can participate in the data analytics boot camp that is coming next week.
This will be taking place from October 19 to the 23rd, from 8 in the morning to 12 noon and from 2 to 6 in the afternoon.
Hello, Salua. Hello, teleaudience. Here are the best sports of the islands. San Andres has a lot of talent in basketball, but more processes are needed to rescue women's basketball in the archipelago. Basketball has been a sport that traditionally has been played in the island. Although it has been developed more in the male branch, women have also practiced it and much more in the past. Today, the aim is to rescue it through processes and tournaments. The Island Trotter Club and Marcus Mueller seeks to encourage women to return to play it with more desire and thus get it out of oblivion, by which is daring the sport of basketball in the female branch. Tiffany Stevens spoke to us about the subject.
I think there is two important things to better. One of the things is the support. We need more support. We need to have more tournament, more process that you can see the girls from them small, go right till they get all elders, and then prepare and get a high level. It's not only just go for a tournament and stop there. It's to keep a process so that the level can increase. And the second thing I think is very important is the conception of the society. I really believe that we as islanders shouldn't avoid the girls to play a sport. And in my case, when I talk about basketball, this not take off from the girls. Contrary, it adds self-esteem, discipline, working team. So I think it's two different things. One is the support. We need a lot of support that not only for a time, but keep in the process. And the second thing is the conception of the society.
With this group of girls, there is a lot of talent, and it will be great to accompany them in the process and to be able to rescue and help women basketball in the island, which is also has a lot of talent to represent our archipelago. As an outstanding and excellent event, the organization of the Karate Do tournament was qualified by the coaches of different departments here in San Andres. As an outstanding event for its excellent organization of the National Karate Do Tournament was qualified the event that took place in the facilities of Teleislas in San Andres. The Colombian Karate Federation, in collaboration with the Secretariat of Sports and the departmental government, shine with the organization of this martial arts event. This is how some coaches from the different departments categorize it. For San Andres, Henry Vargas.
Es un evento fuera de serie.
An event out of this world. I was talking precisely with the president of the federation, and I asked him if in the years that he has been in the federation doing tournaments, which is the best he has organized and in which he has participated. He told me this, and by far. The problem now, who dares to do the next event with the same category, with the same level, which is equal or better. We have placed a high bar in the tournament and nationally. Not even in Europe do you see tournaments so well organized, well managed, and with the logistics and beauty of the stage. We are proud to have such a well organized tournament and that people have such good comments.
For the delegation of Cesar, Mauricio Blanco.
Agradecerle a toda la organización.
Thank you to all the organizations of San Andres for such a magnificent event. I think you have set a high standard for the other leagues that will organize the next events. The site is phenomenal. The attention is all very well organized. The truth, many congratulations for the organization of this great event.
For the delegation of Valle del Cauca, Miller Egas.
Complacido de estar aquí. El escenario ha cumplido.
Pleased to be here. The scenario of venues has met all the expectations we've had. It has been an impeccable order, a well-planned schedule. Things have gone perfectly. My athletes have been very well treated and they feel at home.
For the delegation of Boyacá, José Leguizamón.
Fue un verdadero placer estar aquí en San Andrés.
It was a real pleasure to be here in San Andres. It really was the reactivation of karate. We found an interesting surprise, a very beautiful venue, a beautiful island. We are really very happy if in the future we are invited again. We will gladly be available to be here.
A true festival enjoyed by all the delegations from the different departments in this tournament.